Today's date, June 3rd, 2020, means we got a couple anniversaries to celebrate. We'll start 3 years ago in Cardiff, Real Madrid beating Juventus 4-1 in the 2017 Champions League final. Second to 3 straight Champions League titles for Real Madrid. A couple goals in that match for Cristiano Ronaldo. We're joined for a walk down memory lane by Frank Leboeuf and Sid Lowe. Sid, I'll start with you. What do you remember about that night? A night that seemed like the height of the first era of Zidane in Madrid.
Yeah, I think the thing that most sticks with me about that particular Champions League success, and not just that night, but the competition itself, was that of the 3 that Real Madrid won in the row, it was the most impressive of the 3. It was the one season of the 3 when I think we watched them lift the European Cup at the end of the season and thought, yeah, they genuinely were the best team in Europe, and there's not too much of an argument to be had. They played very well, certainly in the second half of the final. They'd struggled a little bit perhaps in the first half, but the second half they were just too good for Juventus, and they've been very good all season. They won La Liga that year as well, and so while there were doubts maybe about the first and the third European Cups, as there always is, by the way, when any team wins a European competition, I think at the end of this one, the middle one, I think we watched it and all thought, yeah, this is the best team in Europe.
Frank, Ronaldo with 2 goals in that Champions League final on the biggest stage. What do you remember of his performance?
Well, I remember Ronaldo's performance. He was outstanding, but I also thought about Juventus and Buffon and his sadness at the end of the game, because I'm pretty sure he was thinking that that could be the dream of his life. He was champion of the world. He won the Calcio so many times, but never reached the golden medal for the Champions League, and he missed again. And I was sad for him because he's such a fantastic goalkeeper. He had a long career, but didn't get that Champions League. And I also remember that fantastic goal scored by Mandzukic. That was absolutely outstanding. Juventus came back 1-1, but as Sid said, second half we saw the Real Madrid, and they showed to the world that they were the best team. Not even in Europe, I think in the world.
Sid, on the long list of kind of quintessential Cristiano Ronaldo performances, where does this stack up?
Well, I think the significance of the game puts it right near the top. I mean, in a way, this was, I guess, a continuation of what we saw in the last 3, maybe 4 even seasons of Ronaldo's time at Real Madrid, was that evolution into something closer to an absolute number 9. Now, not in terms of his position, in that he wasn't standing as a static centre forward, but in his ability to just appear at the right time to score the goals. And you look at the one early on in the second half when it's Modric's ball pulled back to him from the byline, which, by the way, is something that Zidane had worked on with the team in the build-up to the final, and the movement across the forward, the first-time finish. And Ronaldo, I think, had the intelligence, and in that season in particular, we saw it, had the intelligence to listen to Zidane, to allow Zidane to basically leave him out of every single away game for the last, I think it was 6 weeks of the season, to say to him, right, don't worry about anything else. Let's make sure that we use your efforts in the right way and at the right time. And I think Ronaldo at that point was beginning that process, that evolution towards, or in the midst of that process, evolution towards being a number 9, and not least listening to Zidane and saying, okay, I don't need to be involved in the whole game. I don't need the ball at my feet all the time. I don't need to be running at people. I need to work on arriving at the right time. And I think that game, perhaps more than anything else, was the embodiment of that process to being, you know, the guy that was once a flying winger that did everything is now a number 9 and one of the very best we've seen.
Frank, when you look back at your former teammate Zinedine Zidane, do you think that this accomplishment is truly maybe the greatest masterpiece of his young managerial career? What put him into that elite level?
Yes, because winning a Champions League it's hard, but winning 2 and then 3 in a row, it's fantastic. I mean, I don't know if somebody will be able to do the same thing. So he showed to the world that he was a real coach. Maybe could have wondered this capability of doing it and coaching a big team, but he had fantastic years at Real Madrid. And it's why they called him again, because they need him again to maybe show us another miracle. Because you have to say it's a miracle when you win so many Champions League in so few years. It's absolutely outstanding. And Zizou is a genius, not only on the field but just outside too.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.